Hi, this is Dr. Randy Hurst, a psychologist, but this week I'm not spending as much time on information about psychology as I am about a plug for other people and what they're doing. In this particular one, I want to plug a website and workbooks, information related to what's called FoundMyFitness. In this case, Wild, it refers to wellness interventions for life's demands. And so Wild 5 refers to these 5 kind of general areas of interventions having to do with exercise, relaxation, mindfulness, meditation type things, sleep, social connections, and nutrition. I encourage you, after hearing a podcast on depression by a different person who was just plugging this and finding, hey, this is really reasonable. I'm not sure there's any cost except for the workbook, which is like $11. So this is Sandra and Rakesh Jain, Jain, who have put together research related to these areas that I mentioned and how much they can impact in a non-medical, non-medication way many kinds of depression, and can be potentially a great start. And I'd like to put in a plug for, medication. It can be great, but the problem I've always had with it is that it works relatively quickly. I mean, not as fast as people want, in that it can take a couple, 3 weeks to even have its effect. But what can happen is that when people feel better, they don't really focus on changes that will help them stay better, especially if they go off the medication. So sometimes people end up being very dependent on the medication, and when they go off, have to go back on again, because after a couple of months, they're back in the same old place. Whereas my understanding of this workbook and the way Dr. Raison described it, they really focus on things that do take effort. I mean, exercise takes effort. Really eating correctly takes effort. But at the same time, it's a real impact on the body. It turns on genes, it turns on processes in the body that both either prevent or can reverse many kinds of depression or stress issues that lead to depression. So really taking care of the body in these effortful ways become, in the long run, way better than medication in many cases. I mean, there may be reasons where there's some genetic difference or there's some other thing going on where the depression is very severe. But this is a good first step if you're willing to put in the effort and develop the habits that really set up for avoiding or intervening on depression. So I encourage you this. Again, that's Wild 5 Wellness. Just look that up in a Google search, but I think it is called wild5wellness.com. I'm not sure on that. Or look on Amazon or through their website and order their workbook. See what you think. It sounds like I haven't read the workbook. Everything that I've read in the past, and there's tons of research now about how exercise in many cases is a better antidepressant than antidepressants. Good sleep, restorative sleep, being able to pull back from the brain going on overdrive with stress or strong emotions, pulling back and processing those feelings, understanding them in the context, really set up for settling the whole body down. And then, of course, what we eat. Turns out that a lot of the convenience foods, the fast foods, the high carbs, the high sugar, really mess with the immune system, really mess with the body, set up for blood sugar swings, set up for type 2 diabetes, weight gain, sleep apnea, potentially, with the weight gain. So many things come from easy eating and putting in some effort really can set up for being way healthier for the rest of your life, in a sense, than getting into the easy way of doing things. So, Wild 5 Wellness, I hope you like it. It just makes a ton of sense to me.